Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen today, I want to talk a little bit about Mullen Automotive Incorporated. This has obviously been a very popular and very polarizing stock throughout the year of 2022. Not a stock that I don't think many people really knew about or had heard of before the turn of the new year, but it's kind of taken the stock market by storm. It's taken the different social medias by storm. It's all over Twitter, StockTwits, Reddit, YouTube, all over the place. Just one of the absolute most talked about stocks, and it's crazy because this thing is obviously low float. It's small market cap. I guess there is some people coming out and saying that the market caps being shown on like Google and Robinhood and the different trading apps and stuff are not necessarily correct, but still it's obviously a smaller kind of company. It's one of the newer EV companies, and they're trying to burst onto the scene. They're trying to make some big moves, and this one obviously today has been a big mover so far. This thing's up 9.5% today, and this is a day where the greater market, the indices aren't doing so hot. Down 0.47 for the Dow Jones, down 0.05 for the S&P. Nasdaq's up 0.42%, but then the Russell's not having so great of a day, down 0.93%. But still, with all that going on, Mullen is up almost 10%. It's looking pretty strong. It's been up pretty much the entire day today, and trading pretty steadily around this $2.58, but $2.50 and above mark. So in this video today, we're just going to be going over all the latest from Mullen because there's honestly some pretty big news and pretty big things going on right now. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. And of course, as always, there's not going to be any financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy, not telling you guys to sell, nothing like that. Just going over the latest, some news, giving my thoughts and opinions. With that being said, let's get right into this. So obviously, the past week has been an interesting one for Mullen. I'm not sure why this won't load. I'm going to try to refresh and see if we can get some of these numbers to pop up. Okay, it does not want to, so we are only going to be able to look at the one day, I guess, but whatever. We know today's been a good day for Mullen. Overall, 2022 has not been the best year for Mullen, but they are significantly off their 52-week lows at this point. Going from 52 cents all the way up to $2.58. But still, looking at those 52-week highs of $15.90 is pretty crazy. Again, for a stock that's, right now at $2.59. But one of the bigger things that everyone is talking about today with Mullen, this is from the MULN subreddit. Ticker symbol for Mullen is, of course, MULN. I don't think I've said that yet in this video today. But Mullen strengthens its balance sheet, 3/28/22. This is breaking. I know a lot of people are talking about this from Yahoo Finance being one of the bigger sources to put this stuff out. But Mullen strengthens balance sheet. Company expects to report in excess of $65 million in cash and cash equivalents when it files Form 10Q for the second quarter ending March 31st. Again, we are just a couple of days away from that. So this has a lot of people talking. This has a lot of people excited. A company like Mullen, a smaller company, a more volatile company, making such a big increase to its balance sheet, it's definitely going to have upside and downside. It's going to have pros and cons, and there's really people on both sides. But again, obviously today, the market at least has been reacting very positively to this, with us being up 10%. So people, at least in the short term, are not taking this as too bad of a thing. Here is a quote from the CEO as well to go along with this. CEO update. With the financing we received, we now have more than enough capital to execute on our commitments for 2022, including the start of the Mullen 5 EV crossover program and continued development of the Mullen 1 EV cargo van program. The company's balance sheet is the strongest it has ever been in our history. So that is a obvious big statement. Not only saying that the balance sheet is the strongest it's ever been, but also saying that this funding that they're going to have on hand now is going to allow them to execute on all of their commitments for 2022. So if we are hearing the strongest balance sheet in the company's history, plus them being able to execute on everything that they want, everything that they have planned, everything that they have promised, and you know that this stock, has been at $15.90 before, and we are right now at $2.56. That shows that at least potentially there could be insane, exponential potential on some kind of crazy run-up in a company like this, because, when they were at $15.90, if they had a weaker balance sheet and it was unsure if they were going to be able to fulfill all the promises and fulfill all the expectations and everything going forward. Now they're in a much better position. Common sense might tell some of us that maybe the valuation should be a little closer to those all-time highs, a little closer to those 52-week highs if things are potentially looking better than they ever have. Now, obviously, there's so many different factors at play. There's so many different variables at play, and there's so many reasons why Mullen is much closer to its 52-week lows than its 52-week highs right now. And some of those things are completely out of Mullen's control. Some of those things are interest rate related. Some of those things are inflation related. Some of those things are, Russia, Ukraine, the market overall. Were we overvalued? Were we flying way too high? All of those different things. But some of them, of course, are going to be related to Mullen as well. We have this, some people, on the Mullen subreddit talking about whatever just happened sparked the fire that'll burn the hedge funds down, which will lead to the most violent reversal of the mother of all short squeezes, the MOAS, 100 times bigger than the Volkswagen squeeze, 1,000 times bigger than the GameStop squeeze. And obviously this is a little bit ridiculous. There's a little bit of an exaggeration, a little bit of hyperbole. But it does kind of keep in mind that, hey, some people are in this thing for Mullen. Some people are in this thing for an EV play. Some people are in this thing because they want a smaller market cap EV play that could potentially be the future. Obviously Mullen, is doing all their stuff made in America as well, which some people like and appreciate. Some people want to, be able to find the next Tesla or whatever. But some people also are still on that short squeeze bandwagon, are still seeing this as a short squeeze play. Mullen is one of the most shorted stocks in the entire stock market. When you see something run down from $15.90 to 52 cents, it's obviously going to be heavily shorted on the way down. People are going to be trying to make money off of its downfall. And then eventually it's possible you get to a position where it's overshorted, where it's oversold, where, bouncing back maybe makes some sense. And there's still people who want to burn the hedge funds. There's still people who want to get revenge for the GameStop situation, who want to get revenge for AMCs and all those different things. And to get back at these people who try to profit off taking companies down, or at least, are incentivized to see companies continue to flounder and continue to push them further and further down. So there is really kind of two angles with this whole Mullen story, so it is something to keep in mind. Obviously, people are talking about the stock offering, how Mullen is planning on raising this money to get that $65 million in excess of cash and cash equivalents. And some people are obviously taking that as bad news. They don't want to be diluted. They don't want additional shares being put out. They're worried about that. That can be a scary thing. That can eat into profits. That can eat into share appreciation. That can eat into the gains that a lot of people have been hoping for, that a lot of people have been wanting when they're putting their hard-earned money on the line to believe in a company, to believe in a story, to believe in expectations and promises and all these things that the CEO says they're going to be hitting on. But if you get diluted, obviously you kind of lose out on some of that, at least potentially. But this guy is saying the offering is actually good news. EV sectors cost a lot of money to build. People see this and will invest knowing that Mullen has money now. Don't listen to the bears or the shorts or the haters. Every stock company has done an offering. And that's the thing, yes, different companies at different maturity levels will do offerings, will do share buybacks, will do all these different kinds of plays. And you look at the history of many successful and great companies, they've had to do both at certain times, or both have been appropriate in different situations and different circumstances and all these things. It's not like one or the other is inherently good or bad or evil or not evil or whatever. But it is obviously something to be mindful of, something to know about, something to consider when you're kind of looking into your bear and bull cases for different stocks and things like that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see exactly how that plays out. This guy had a nice little post in DD that a lot of people were talking about in today's S3 filing. The TLDR, we'll go into the rest of it, but the TLDR said the company has been and needs to continue raising capital to cover expenses to carry them until their production phase. Mullen raising capital equals very good for them and the shareholders in this guy's view. So today's S3 filing covers the possibility of a greater conversion rate of preferred B and C shares into common stock if Mullen issues a public offering while the stock is trading below $8.84 per share. And in this guy's opinion, they should do that. Currently held are 6.5 million Series B and C shares. If Mullen issues an offering while its stock is trading at $4.42, just an example, and holders of Series B and C decide to convert all of their holdings, this translates them into receiving 6.55 million times 2. I'm assuming that's for the B and C, about 13 million shares. If Mullen issues a public offering when its share price is $2.21 per share, for further example, and holders of Series B and C decide to convert all their holdings, they would receive 6.55 times 4, I think times 2, and then times 2. I don't know why that's times 4. I don't necessarily understand all this. I'm just trying to go over at least what they're sharing for $26.2 million shares. This is not a substantial dilution. Per this filing, current shares outstanding are 239 million. So market cap is currently around 600 million, contrary to what every outdated retail data feed that they've seen shows. So I think that is kind of the most interesting part, that, like I said, if you go on Google right now, it's showing, $90 million market cap. But at least according to this guy in this post, we're closer to a $600 million market cap. So kind of keep that in mind when you're valuing and purchasing shares as well, potentially, at least if that is correct. 26.2 million conversion of preferred shares would only dilute the stock about 10%, which, it's not great. It's not something you like to hear. It's not an amazing amount. But again, if it's necessary for the company to continue to grow and flourish, and if you can take a 10% dilution and turn it into 100% gains or something going forward in the future, obviously you would take that. So keep in mind, for holders of preferred shares to get this deal, Mullen would need to issue an offering at 221 and would receive the cash proceeds of the public offering, further strengthening their balance sheet. So yeah, kind of interesting stuff going on there. Just a whole nother perspective on that. We also have this, that Mullen right now is the third most mentioned stock on Reddit behind GameStop and AMC. So again, how I was talking about the kind of the popularity and the level we're getting to with Mullen. It's really crazy. There's a lot of people talking about this. There's a lot of people with opinions. Mullen is very, very polarizing. Has some people very excited. It has some people very, bearish. It has some people staying the heck away from it, sharing their thoughts and opinions, good, bad, everything in between. And some people just along for the ride because it's a very, very interesting and entertaining stock, scenario, company, everything. And then we also had this from the Mullen Automotive subreddit. This is from stockanalysis.com. The fact that, hey, they have a lot of analysts saying that Mullen could potentially be a good buy right now. They're looking at price targets of $23, $24. I'm not sure if this stuff just isn't updated, if they're just insanely bullish or what, but a lot of buys and strong buy ratings out there right now for Mullen. And it seems like, some people are definitely excited about the future of this stock. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Muln. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then.